Good evening, everyone. Today, I got a very scary story to tell you. And it starts out at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Now let's do a little bit of background. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay is an African-themed amusement park situated here in Tampa Bay, Florida, where I'm currently at. So, there has been stories about it going around. There's this little girl that supposedly died there. So, what was her name? But first, let's do a rewind. Back in the 1900s, Anheuser-Busch purchased Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, before it became an amusement park, it was a beer brewery place. That's where they, made beer, processed it, and, stuff like that. And then, years down the road, Anheuser-Busch said, cancel the beer. Make this into a family-friendly theme park. And thus, that's when Busch Gardens was born. Now, when Busch Gardens first developed, they had a few rides. One was called Python, which was situated in Timbuktu, which is now Pantopia. And then second was the Scorpion. So it went Python, roller coasters, Python, Scorpion, Kumba, then the Cheetah Hunt. But somewhere before the Cheetah Hunt, there was the wooden coaster called Gwazi. But they tore that down and refurbished it up to Iron Gwazi. So, here it is. Oh, hello. Hello, chat. Sorry. I'm talking about ghosts. Anyway, yeah, back to it. Yeah, and then came along Cheetah Hunt and Cheetah exhibit at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. I used to work there, and it's fun. It's a fun place to work at there. But way back then, Busch Gardens had a thing, had a restaurant called The Crown. Well, anyway, here's the spooky stuff about The Crown. You see, stories have been told that at The Crown, late at night, it's haunted. Now, why is it haunted? Let's back it up, shall we? Somewhere in the year 1950s, The Crown had a little girl. This little girl's name was Wendy. Wendy was her name. She was a young little girl, and she usually played up on the third and fourth floor. But something tragic happened that day. One day, little Wendy, she somehow got out, and she fell from the third floor. She fell from the third floor down. That's about like 50 to 100 feet in the air. So she didn't survive that. So when she didn't survive that, it was, and I kind of believe that because one night I was working by myself at Busch Gardens. And one night I was working all by myself. I heard a cough, like someone cleared their throat. So I looked around and there was no guests. At first I was ready to grab my phone and call security. because I thought a guest was just, hiding, playing around. But then, but nobody was there. Nobody was there. And then the next night when I worked there again, I heard footsteps. So I brought my friend along with me, and she had a, you know, electromagnetic EMP reader. And the area, in the patio area where she died, where she fell from, it was booming with supernatural activity. And not just that, it's kind of spooky. To this day, they said she still haunts the third and fourth floor. It's kind of spooky because, Busch Gardens at night, the security don't let random people in. You gotta have a special pass. And for you to get a special pass, you have to Hey, well, welcome to the stream, Pika, sorry. The special pass is what I'm talking about is an employee pass. So if you go to Tampa Bay, if you get a job at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, they'll give you a pass, and it's your scan pass. You scan it at the security gate. Security guy will let you in, and then you either go in and start working, or go in for free, actually. And to answer your second question, who haunts the third and fourth floor? Well, just in case if you missed it, Wendy is a little girl. Her name is Wendy. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, who haunts the third and fourth floor is a little girl named Wendy. Now, here's a recap. What happened to Wendy is that she was playing around on the third floor, and she somehow either snuck through or stumbled off the patio and fell 150 feet to her demise. She didn't survive. So, a lot of people have been hearing stuff about her running around, laughing. Usually late at night, around 1 to 3 a.m. around there, you can hear her. Now, I used to work there, and I've heard it myself. I'm like, one night I'm working, and then I hear someone clear the throat, like that, but it wasn't me. So I was about to call security. Thanks. But yeah, thanks. But yeah, so I went to take a peek, and at first I thought it was just a guest that forgot to go home. So I was ready to call security. But then I didn't see anyone. And she usually haunts the third and fourth floors because, that's where she normally haunts. Which is kind of eerie. Why the third and fourth floor? Well, here's my theory. And this might shock you guys, but here's my theory. Whenever a person dies, for example, if someone dies at the age of 85, highly likely if they die of natural cause, then, their body, their spirit is going to go up to heaven. It's not going to stay She it wasn't gonna, when you die naturally, slowly and naturally, your body is like, okay, your soul's like, my time has come. So, you won't see a ghost. But if a person dies suddenly, like in a tragic accident or something like that, their spirit gets lost. They get lost in the earth realm. They're like, you know, they're trying to move on, but they can't because, it wasn't their time. It wasn't their time to go. And to answer your question, Pika, my bad, Pika, she was at least 9 to 10 years old when she passed away. And last time I heard, it was like in the 1950s, I do believe. That might be different, so I might have you. So, but she died in the 1900s. So I'd say like 60, 70 years ago is when she died. Which is very sad because, nobody deserves to die like that, Nobody deserves to die. It's a shame that she did. Because, she was just a young, vibrant, young lady, young girl. She was just a kid. Exactly. And, yeah, and that, and when people hear her playing around up on the 3rd and 4th floors, that confirms my theory. That confirms it. That if someone dies suddenly, if someone dies quick and suddenly, then their spirit's going to be trapped on Earth. Because, her spirit is lost, If someone dies slowly and naturally, then, their soul's like, their soul's gonna say, okay, I'm ready to go up in heaven. And so the soul will go up in heaven. But if someone dies suddenly, then their soul, their spirit, will get stuck. Will get stuck here on Earth. And that's why you see ghosts down here on Earth. And, ghosts are just trapped souls that haven't moved on yet. Anyway, yeah. To answer your question again, Pika, her relatives are gone as well. So, and Pika, just to let you know, her relatives aren't around anymore. So, and speaking of ghosts, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I just heard something fall in my apartment. I think it's my cats, so. But yeah, that's what happened at the Crown at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. It's now called the Serengeti Overlook now, so, but it used to be called the Crown, and that's the story. So, if you can, please give Wendy some prayers. Even if she's a spirit, she didn't deserve to die. She doesn't deserve to die like she did. Hey, welcome to the stream. Jahi Ko. Sorry if I misspelled it or mispronounced it. But hi. and I'd say about like 2 so far. Pika. Sorry about that as well. But yeah, though, yeah. Nobody doesn't deserve to die like that. Especially how Wendy died. Because she was just a little girl having fun at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. Where am I from? Tampa, Florida. And, it's getting kind of late for me, so I might, I might have to end the stream soon, but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know the story about the crown at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. It's yeah, Florida's nice. The weather is nice down here. Florida is, yeah, exactly. Florida is the greatest of all time. Yeah, Florida's endless summer. If you live in northern Florida, you're still gonna have cold winters. Even in central Florida, you might have chilly winters. But deep south Florida, where Miami is, pretty warm all year round. But anyways, that'll be all, guys. I just want to say thank you for joining me, and if you can, have I seen any crocodiles or gators? Yeah, I have actually at Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens Tampa Bay has alligators or crocodiles, one of the two. Actually, they do have alligators and crocodiles. So if you ever want to visit Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, it's just a hop, skip down 75 and I-4. Where I live, I'm a couple blocks away from Busch Gardens, so I could just walk there. So I have seen a couple snakes. Snakes are pretty cool. I like snakes. I know snakes are like evil and stuff, but they're just creatures. They're just creatures. But yeah, though. Anyway, I'm glad. That's cool. But yeah, though. So I'll have to end the stream. So sorry. But I just want to thank you guys for joining and listening to the ghost story, because it's sad how she passed away like that. So I will. And so I hope she finds heaven very soon, because that was just a terrible way, a terrible death that Wendy endured. So I hope she has a really great, I hope she finds her way up into heaven. So thanks for joining. Thanks for talking. And I'll see you guys in the next video. How do I end it? Oh, there we go. Alright, guys.